You know how I tell you sometimes just the visual makes me laugh. Hasaba! He looks like he's trying to karate chop a bee. He's like, there's a bee in his office, and he's oh, thank you. I went to the gym today. Been working on my shoulders. That's the big thing. Yeah, high karate. That's right. He smells like high karate. I know karate. The karate skid. So this is about a piece of information that right-wing websites have been cutting a piece of what the CDC director said about people. Well, I don't want to clarify it too much because I know what it's about just because it's all over the place. Like, I can tell by the title. CDC finally admitted what we've known all along. Like, this is going to be... I know what it's about because he tweeted about this. Like, everybody, Twitter. Yeah, you know that site he's still on. His dad isn't, but he's still on. But they kick off conservatives and nobody's... You can't say what you want to say, but he's still on there. Anyways, the town crier when it comes to your show. Oh, well, thank you, Cher Stone. I appreciate that. Cherie? Is it Cherie Stone? It is for me. Thanks, Pamela. A teething 6-month. Oh, kiddo. Poor baby. You'd cry a lot too if your teeth were pushing through flesh inside your own head. It's a lot. We've forgotten, thank goodness. Otherwise, we'd be cranky constantly. I think maybe some people do remember teething, and that's why they're annoying in traffic. Anyways, no information as to whether Junior is waxing on or waxing off right now. I'm guessing he ditched paint defense side to side. Big suckle. God damn, I love that movie. Now I gotta go watch it again. And Pat Morita, we miss you and we love you. And the scene where he's drunk and he talks about the death of his wife and his baby. Ugh. So good. When the acting exceeds the environment. Okay, let's listen to what Junior thinks he's got right. There'll be an ad for it. All right. Yeah, I know. Crickly crackly.
Kind of big news, okay? Kind of big news. Now, guys, this is kind of big news, okay? Kind of big news. Now, we all knew this was...
Kind of big news. I got some new eye drops, and I've been consuming a lot more cheese than usual.
Probably the case. But it seems they're only releasing it now, and this is direct information from the CDC, okay? So apparently they're...
Already reading. 11 fucking seconds in. Dude can't do shit. Guys, apparently, what was the note I got from the Heritage Foundation and Saving America PAC, so they pay me $500 and whatever ad rev I can get off my Rumbles? Fucking hell. Look at that. Love me, Papa. Love me. Papa, love me.
In 836,000 deaths in America, COVID deaths. According to the CDC, 75% of them, okay, so of 836, 75% is about...
Are we going to have a math problem? We're going to have a math problem, aren't we? Okay, here we go.
627,000 were with people who had 4 or more comorbidities. As they said, at least.
Oh, okay, little buddy, fuck you. Is that what she said? That 680,000 people had 4 or more comorbidities? And by the way, let's put aside for a second, he's fucking wrong. But let's put aside for a second that he somehow thinks that those people deserve to go anyways, right? It was the tipping point. You know what I mean? You can't make an omelet without breaking some grandmas.
For comorbidities, 75%.
He's even reading it. Look at him reading it. So he thinks it's a fact. He thinks he's discovered a fact. Somebody sent him them. He put his little Post-its on his fucking second monitor. By the way, can we take a little tour of the office for a moment while all this shit is happening before we jump into how dumb he is? Okay, first of all, zero fucking change in the office pile of work. Months. And this son of a bitch hasn't touched any of this stuff. Doesn't have his assistant come in, rearrange his papers, make sure all the projects are in order so he can reference it, puts all the loose paper back in there. Nothing that, no, I'm surprised the shelf hasn't collapsed too. But it's glass, so it's there, whatever. His father's bobblehead back here in the corner, unless that's Eric actual size across the street, which is a possibility. And then a fencing sword. Is that what this is? Or is that just like a golf club with a guard on it to make sure that you don't accidentally insert it so far in your rectum you can't get it out? Also, very old newspaper articles. Like I understand collecting those things. You get some wins, put them on the board. I got some cool ones. I got some that are 20 years old, and that's what makes them special. But this is when there aren't gonna be any new articles that you're gonna want to frame anyways. And by the way, no, his beard is not gray right here. That is cocaine. That is just he gets so blasted, he just lays his chin in the pile and goes. I just love that this pile of shit going on over here never changes. Never. But breaking news. Okay, sorry. 75% of the people who died of COVID, according to this idiot, had four or more comorbidities.
At least 4 comorbidities.
And I don't know why the air quotes. At least 4 more quotes. But like nobody knows why you're air quoting. Unless that you're quoting them, in which case that's not air quotes. You say, quote, 4 or more, you don't do air quotes because air quotes are fake quotes. Whatever you're saying in the context of the air quotes, you are being you are sarcastically quoting or paraphrasing. He's dumb. I don't know why I bother.
It is.
The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities.
Oh, right. That's what this is from. This is, I have this one. Hold on. Because the RNC War Room put this up. So maybe we've just, maybe we've just discovered who sends Junior his marching orders. Yeah, hold on. Let's shit. I had this one up here. Hold on. Or did I have it on my iPad? Something like that. It'll be on here. Give me 1 second, because I know I just saw this. This is good. By the way, the freeze frame on YouTube right now of me talking about him while we're both going, is kind of hilarious. Let's see. Library. Yeah, here it is. This is
the
So this is the clip of her saying this. This is 22 seconds of what she's talking about. Biden's easier. 75% of COVID deaths were unwell people with 4 comorbidities. No, she's talking. Well, I want to save it. I don't want to bury it. Well, she's talking about vaccinated people who have died.
So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
They were, quote, unwell to begin with.
Stick to the notes, though, buddy. Stick to the notes. This is I'm sorry. I don't want to blow it for everybody. This gets so dumb so quick.
Think about what they've been showing. Think about
what they've been showing, yeah. Encouraging people to get vaccinated, because the encouraging sign is that people who are vaccinated don't die from it. Didn't die of Delta. Not going to die from Omicron. No Deltacron. No own the Delta. Nope.
They've been telling us for 2 years.
Well, who's they? I mean, your dad ran the place for the half of that time, and also there's a weird video that's I think unrelated to this, unless he brings it up, where they ask her how many people died of COVID or with COVID, that thing, and she doesn't have the numbers, largely because of the Trump years. Numbers are so opaque and shitty that they didn't keep track.
Now we find out 75% of deaths were with at least 4 comorbidities, with at least 4 things that will probably kill you. Now they tell.
So I that's why your dad was in such bad shape, and if he hadn't had the greatest medical care in our country at Walter Reed, he would have died.
I wonder why we're finding out about it so late. By the way, of the remaining 25%, how many were people with, say, one comorbidity like terminal cancer? One that's really just bad, right? If 75% had at least 4 different ones, an individual with 4 different...
Yes, no one healthy has ever died of COVID. Of the 25%, I mean, his numbers are jacked, and we'll talk about that in a second. It's such an easy fix. Like, this is such a rake. It's like watching a man stomp toward a rake, going, bring it, rake.
Things that will probably kill you in the end, where you're unwell to begin.
Like the golf butt plug over in the corner?
How many had one that were just going to do it? How many were killed by buses that happened to have COVID that were perfectly healthy, would have been fine? How many fell off a motorcycle?
None.
I'd like to know the answer to this, because it seems like they're trying to rewrite the narrative. It seems like they're trying to say...
Yeah, they're trying to say there's something different between year 1 and year 2 in the volume of people who've been vaccinated. I'm telling it ahead. All right.
We can blame all of the CNN death counter, right? We'll blame it on Trump. But now that Joe Biden has performed significantly worse, now that he's had many more deaths than Trump ever had...
Oh, by the way, the many more deaths, quote unquote, all red districts, all unvaccinated, like 98%. And again, we'll get to that 2%. We'll get to that this is so sweet. It's like watching, speaking of a man about to be hit by a bus, it's like I'm watching it come down the street and I'm sitting there going, do you tell him? Yes. How many people have died with a golf club shoved up their ass and also had the sniffles?
Now that it's clear that the Democrats and he have no control over what's going on, their incompetency and their lies are showing, their campaign promises are flailing and failing, now they're going to rewrite history. Now they're going to revive.
Now I'm going to eventually try to find out a way to move my voice from my nose, where all the cocaine is,
back down into my actual throat like a grown man.
Is the way and say, oh, it's clear Joe Biden couldn't do anything about it because the things that they have done have failed.
Yes, because of all the Republicans that are, yes, dying of COVID to own the libs. I'll show Joe Biden. I'll mess with your numbers. How? I'm not going to get vaccinated and die of an easily preventable illness. Brilliant. You sound like a Trump voter. These sound like the kind of solutions you would come up with if you were like, Trump's my dude.
Whether it be the mandates, whether it's the stuff that they're pushing now as it relates to you must get whatever to be able to...
Check your notes. You must get whatever. What do you got to get? If you're gonna quote, I mean, get tested once a week, because that's what the actual test is. That's what the actual mandate is.
The spread, that seems to be failing. The entire narrative is shutting down. I won't get into the details of it because I'll get fact-checked.
Because you don't know them, because I'll get fact-checked and everybody will call me and ask, oh, hang on to that thought, dum-dum.
Whatever it is, but we're all watching this. Trust me when I tell you, I knew doctors. They knew these things in 2020. Remember, we heard the term comorbidity probably for the first time for many people because they knew...
Oh, no. I mean, ask your dad.
The elderly and those with comorbidities, pre-existing conditions, as they called it, right? Those were the people most affected because, of course, they were. And I had doctors that told me, well, listen, if guy got hit by a bus, it was a COVID test if he had COVID, and we were just told to shut up and do it. But now they're trying to unwind that to save Joe and the Democrats who failed at just about...
Yeah, there's been such a rise in bus deaths that just, statistically, magically, those people also had COVID. That it's just weighing down their numbers.
Everything. Their narrative is
It was never a big deal. Understand what we're hearing from this gentleman. COVID was never a big deal. Anybody who dies from it is probably going to die of something else. But also, Biden's handling it worse because more people have died from it during his year in office, because it started. He has a whole year in office where it started, 3.5 months in the death rate started spiking up during Trump's administration. So Trump got a 4-month reprieve year to year. And then, that's basically it.
They're trampling our rights. They're more than willing to crush your freedoms. Their as far as I'm concerned, unconstitutional mandates. Again, I have to caveat so as not to get canceled, but watch.
You won't get canceled for being dumb, or it had happened a long time ago.
What's going on, guys? 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities.
Which is fucking amazing. What are the odds? 4 comorbidities. What? Being over 75? Is that he's going to count one? Never mind. He's talking out of his ass. Give me a minute.
How many had 3 comorbidities? How many 2? How many 1 that was just going to probably kill him pretty quickly in the end? Close to all? I want to know how many truly healthy individuals, meaning that had a comorbidity, but we didn't maybe know about it, or they didn't perhaps know about it. How many healthy individuals, truly healthy individuals, actually died? Because that's probably the more interesting stat as we adjust.
Well, we actually kind of know that, because while we don't know, as far as the people, the number of vaccinated people who have died who would be truly healthy, meaning that they can fight off this particular disease, even if they have comorbidities, a lot of them have lived, they, survived where they wouldn't have otherwise. And then there were some that had, well, we'll get to that.
Our entire lives, as we've destroyed our economies, as we take on draconian.
Yes, we've destroyed our economy. We'll get to that next. Shall we get to the destroyed economy next? Can I do a video on the destroyed economy? Please? Right after this one? Okay.
That would limit our freedoms forever. I want to know that answer, because we need that answer to be able to truly understand what's going on, to truly be able to make a decision.
He's reading again. To truly understand what's going on. That's the phrase that was written on the Post-it. Fucking hell. Oh, God.
Because they can't even tell us how many deaths of the 836,000 are deaths from COVID versus...
Right. See, remember what I told you about the largely because of record keeping by the Trump administration. They're getting that, though. They're compiling it now. But
just people with COVID. The CDC...
Yeah. By the way, if you had 20% of some other disease and 80% of COVID was what killed you, he doesn't think that should count. You would have lived with your stupid comorbidity that he has no respect for you having, and fuck you, you broke son of a bitch, and your ongoing chronic illness. Why couldn't you just have died earlier so you didn't tank his dad's poll numbers?
Director could not tell us that this weekend, and I think we deserve to know. Don't you?
Don't you?
Guys, this is
guys.
All right. First of all, this is the clip he used with her saying this part, and it starts right here. Where does it start? Listen to where it starts.
The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in
75% of what? Over 75% of what? COVID deaths? Overall? That one right there is where, and this is where, here's Don Jr.
75%, guys, COVID deaths were people with at least 4 COVID. How many? That's it. That's the tweet. Done. Guys.
75% of COVID deaths. That's it. That's the tweet, right? Here's Clay Travis. CDC director said 75% of COVID deaths occurred in people with at least 4 comorbidities. Since Biden can't shut down the COVID, suddenly all this data is getting shared publicly. The veil has been lifted. The deep state is found out. Yeah. Go see it. You're onto this. Hold on. Frank Luntz, who's the notorious liberal. Walensky wasn't talking about all COVID deaths. She was talking about COVID deaths. Oh, back up. I clicked on it. She was talking about COVID deaths among the vaccinated. Wait till you get to these numbers. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Out of 1.2 million vaccinated people tracked in the study, 36 ended up getting sick with COVID and dying at a 0.003% fatality rate. And 75% of those 36 people had 4 comorbidities. God damn, these people are dumb. $1.2 million people who are vaccinated, only 36 ended up getting sick and dying from COVID. 36. 1.2 million, 36. And 75% of 36 people had 4 comorbidities. Fucking hell. I mean, this is why you tap the brakes when a story looks too good to be true. I mean, folks, they got shit. You know, some stories just got fish hooks in them, and if you're the smart fish, you'll survive. 36 out of 1.2 million is what now? 0.003%. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. Can we get... Guys, math is hard, guys. Here's Hot Air referencing it. No, the CDC does not say, chief did not say 75% of all COVID. This is the whole fucking clip on it. This clip, suspiciously short of context, you don't say. The one that the fucking, where are they? Yeah, this one. This is the clip. This is the GOP War Room put this out. And lied to, here's the other thing. President Joe Biden's CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, said 75% of COVID deaths were in unwell people with 4 comorbidities during a segment on ABC's Good Morning with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, Michael Strachan, Amy Robach, Laura Spencer, Ginger Z on 1-7. Be sure to like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. The biggest damage done by the RNC's war room in this is to their own saps out there spreading their message. All they did was just walk out and toss a bunch of fucking rakes in the yard. Because by cutting this context about vaccinated people, not people in general, vaccinated people, not the 864,000 dead people in America, 36 of the people who have died who were vaccinated and had COVID, of those 36 people, 75% of those people had 4 comorbidities or more. 0.003%. Fucking hell, this is so dumb. This is so... Guys, I made a mistake. I got some bad blow. Advice. Can we just stew on this one just for a moment? Can we just go like, enjoy the beauty of just how fucking stupid Don Jr. is. Just, because it'd be one thing if he was pulling shit out of the air and he got that information from someplace else, but he played the clip. He showed a piece of this. This is where he got it from. This is who told him to put this video out on Rumble, or paid him, or he got his... Seriously, I feel like he's turtling right now. This is just so... How easy. It's just... Some days you just kind of... Some days it's work, and some days it's just like... I feel like I don't want to let you guys down. I got a lot of other clips because this feels like a bunt. This is not hard. This is like... It's like if we were all playing softball in elementary school and Don Jr. intellectually came to plate, everybody go, move in, easy out, easy out. We caught him mid-fart. This is it. Yeah, he's... There we go. I mean, really. Yes, 27 people. 27 of the 36 had 4 comorbidities or more. I guess the other ones were hit by a bus. There you go. You happy? Oh, gosh. It's just so good. It's so good. He was credit him for avoiding, he's prairie dogging. He's, happily avoiding work in his office. It's 4 minutes he could have spent on that stack of fucking paper right there. Oh, God.